GMTV. Now, just before football, we join Katy Haswell for London Tonight.
Good evening. A review has been ordered into the spiralling cost of a controversial new office block for MPs. Portcullis House, opposite the Palace of Westminster, has so far cost £250 million of taxpayers' money and has been branded the most expensive building per user in Britain. A breakdown of the costs last month showed £200,000 was being spent on plants for the Courtyard restaurant, whilst £1 million had been set aside for window blinds. The review of the building has been ordered by the House of Commons Commission. Next week's tube strike will go ahead after peace talks aimed at resolving the 48-hour walkout collapsed. Rail, maritime and transport bosses held last-ditch talks with managers at the Underground headquarters today. The union fears that job security and employment conditions for tube workers will be threatened under plans to privatise the network.
Tube bosses regard Bob Crow as a bit of a union dinosaur. His row over privatisation anyway isn't really with them, but with the government, so there was little likelihood of peace breaking out, and it didn't.
The London Underground said that they weren't prepared to move on any issue whatsoever regarding the dispute, which we found absolutely astonishing, to be honest with you. It made a Jerry Springer show look like an in-depth documentary.
15,000 people work on the tube. Under the government's partial privatisation, so-called public-private partnership or PPP, 5,000 will transfer to private companies. They'll mostly be engineers, maintaining trains, track, tunnels and signals. More details about how the government's plan will work were given to officials from all the unions today. Although about a third of their members will be employed by private firms, all have been told they can keep their existing employment conditions, pension rights and travel concessions.
We can't sail in and settle the 7 areas they're asking us for. They're asking for jobs for life. They're asking for a 32-hour, 4-day week. These are dreams.
I want to see London become a showcase for a modern, integrated public transport system.
It's almost a year since the Deputy Prime Minister unveiled PPP as a way of finding £7 billion to put the tube back on track.
What's the point of having a Labour Deputy Prime Minister like John Prescott if he, of all people, can't sit down and resolve this sort of thing with the unions?
PPP is already running late. Now there's another obstacle in the way, an industrial dispute. The RMT wants ACAS to intervene, but the Underground is unlikely to agree. The strike is due to start on Sunday evening at 6. At Tube headquarters, this is Simon Harris for London Tonight.
A family from Essex who captured the hearts of the nation have suffered their second tragedy in a matter of weeks. Just a few weeks after 7-year-old Rhys Daniels died of the rare Batten's disorder, his 10-year-old sister, Charlie, has lost her fight against the incurable disease.
Charlie Daniels died this morning in the lap of her father. The 10-year-old had been seriously ill for most of her young life. She and her younger brother Rhys suffered from Batten's disease, a rare nerve disorder which left them blind and unable to walk or speak. Rhys was kept more in the limelight because of 2 pioneering bone marrow transplants which inspired his parents to start the Daniels Charitable Trust. That won wide support from fellow sufferers and from celebrities who rallied to raise funds and find donors. But Charlie was described by her parents as Rhys's guardian angel, who gave him the mental strength to live longer than expected. When Rhys died just before Christmas, friends believe Charlie then lost her fight to live. She'll be buried alongside her brother in Epping on Friday. Theirs was a story of courage. Now, as their family try to get used to life without 2 of their children, they'll be trying to copy their example. This is Kate Harding for London Tonight.
A prison officer from Wormwood Scrubs was tonight questioned by detectives after an inmate escaped from the maximum security jail. He was later released on police bail until March. The prisoner, 54-year-old Tony Levine, walked out of the front entrance 2 weeks ago dressed as a warder. The jury in Britain's first war crimes case has today been told that a South East London pensioner led search and kill death squads following the massacre of nearly 3,000 Jews in 1942. 76-year-old Anthony Sawoniuk, who lives in Bermondsey, denies 4 charges of murder whilst working as a policeman in German-occupied Belarus. Finally, a record 760 people responded today to renewed appeals to find a bone marrow match for leukemia sufferer Daniel de Gale, the biggest turnout so far. The volunteers gave blood at a clinic in Hackney in East London. Daniel, who's 11 and from Thornton Heath, needs a bone marrow match from the Afro-Caribbean community to give him a chance of beating the disease. That's it from us. We're back in the morning. Until then, have a very good night. Bye-bye.
Weather is sponsored by Amarada, the energy company.
Hello there once again. Temperatures are now in the process of dipping fairly rapidly, eventually tonight getting down as low as -5, with a widespread frost and just the odd flake of snow there towards the tip of Kent. So we go into tomorrow morning on a fairly bright note, just like this morning, the best of the sunshine early on, and also your best chance of seeing some snowflakes, again towards the tip of Kent or up towards Essex. A very cold day though, 4 is only 39 in Fahrenheit, not quite as windy as today, not quite as biting. During the course of the afternoon we'll see the skies tending to cloud over, blotting out that sunshine, so becoming fairly hazy in nature. Quick look ahead now. Friday though, more of the same. Saturday and Sunday, much cloudier, very little rain around as well, but at least milder. That's all from me. Good night.
For a more detailed 5-day outlook, call Weather Update, sponsored by Amarada.
There's a 7